Dolphins Today is presented by Aura, a all-in-one digital safety company. Later on in the show, we're going to tell you who they are and what they're offering you. But let's get into today's show. Welcome into Dolphins Today. I'm your host, Will Scott. And on today's show, we're going to be breaking down some position battles that are happening at OTAs. Obviously, a lot of new members of this Dolphins team. It's tough to keep track of all their new signings, so that makes it a very interesting roster situation as we are in the middle of Week 2 OTAs. But first, like this video if you love the Dolphins. If you're a Dolphins fan, if you like what you're seeing here on Dolphins Today, give us a like, because the more likes that we get here, the more content you get back at home. Let's begin with our first position battle. And folks, I say this with confidence. It does not get any better than a good old-fashioned punter battle for the brand. Shout out Pat McAfee. So here's our punter competition. This is a true David against Goliath right here. Tommy Heatherly, a undrafted rookie free agent out of FIU. He's a local guy, FIU right down the street. And Thomas Morstead, who has been a top 10 punter in the NFL the last 14 years. 36 years old, not 60 yet. He's not that old. He's old, though. 36 years old, 14th season in the NFL. Obviously, when you look at his career, most notably played for the Saints for a long time, was actually the Saints punter when they won a Super Bowl back in 2009. That's how long this guy has been in the league. Spent last season with the Jets and the Falcons after being released by the Saints last offseason. And then Tommy Heatherly, here you go, a 2020 Ray Guy Award semifinalist, averaged 44.38 yards per punt last season with FIU, was one of the best punters in college football the last 2 seasons, which means as good as Thomas Morstead is, he's not a lock to win this competition, right? That's why they signed Tommy Heatherly, to give Thomas Morstead a little bit of competition. Look, Morstead is aging. He just got cut by the Saints last year, got cut by the Jets middle of the season last year before finding a new home in Atlanta where he finished the season. So Thomas Morstead has been cut 2 times in the last year. He is absolutely not a lock to win the starting punter job. So who you got? If it's Tommy Heatherly out of FIU, type H down in the comments. If you have Thomas Morstead, go ahead and type M down in the chat. Let's get into our next position battle here, and that's going to be wide receiver. And the reason it's on the list is because of how deep the Dolphins are at this position. Taking a look at the Dolphins wideouts, Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle, 2 fastest wide receivers in the game. They're on the same team. And then you bring in Cedric Wilson in free agency, Eric Ezukanma in the draft. Getting on to some other names here, Preston Williams, Lynn Bowden Jr., Trent Sherfield, and Cody Core. Core probably a long shot to make this team. Might be an uphill battle for these guys as well. River Craycraft, you bring him in from San Francisco in free agency. Devontae Dedmon, he signed a futures contract in January. And then you add undrafted free agents Braylon Sanders and Tanner Connor. Let's focus on Devontae Dedmon here for a second, because this is one of the more intriguing players on the entire Dolphins roster. He signed a futures contract with the Dolphins back in January. He was playing in the CFL with Ottawa, where he was the most outstanding special teams player in the CFL. 5 return touchdowns last season. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Only 11 receptions, though, so if he makes this team, it's definitely going to be as a kick returner. And we're going to keep you in the loop. Any Dolphins news and rumors here on Dolphins Today. We're putting out a Dolphins video every single day. Don't miss anything, and hit that big red subscribe button right now. Now, the Dolphins only carried 6 wide receivers on last year's initial 53-man. So if they do the same this year, only carry 6 guys, that means half of the guys that we just went over are going to get cut. And I think the pressure specifically on these 3 names right here. 3 guys that should make the team, but probably not locks to make the team. Now, Preston Williams has been showing out at OTAs. He's been looking good. Lynn Bowden Jr., we didn't watch him last year because he was injured. He did not play last year. River Craycraft appeared in 6 games for the San Francisco 49ers. However, he did not record a reception last season. I think these 3 guys are going to make the team, but with what they've done in the draft, adding Eric Ezukanma, and then Braylon Sanders and Tanner Conner in undrafted free agency, I don't know if these 3 guys are a lock. It is worth noting that Tanner Conner, listed as a tight end, though, on the Dolphins roster. I put him down as a wide receiver here in the show because that's what he played at Idaho State. Before we get into the rest of our position battles here, I do want to tell you about our friends at Aura. They are a digital protection company, so they're going to protect you from financial fraud, from identity theft, and online and device security. They also have family plans to protect up to 5 people. So they're not just protecting you, they're also protecting your loved ones. You can start a 14-day free trial at aura.com/chatsports. That's a free trial, nothing to lose. Let's see what they can do for you. Aura.com/chatsports. You can get near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. That means if something happens to your credit card, right? If there's a suspicious charge on your credit card, Aura is going to let you know right away. They're keeping your identity secure with extensive monitoring of your personal info. Look, I mean, when you look at credit cards, when you look at all these hackers, I've had my credit card hacked, at least the credit card number. I'm sure you have as well. Aura is going to prevent that from happening. You can get a free trial at aura.com/chatsports. Let's get into our next position battle, and that is right tackle. And out of all the position battles on the offensive line right now, this is probably the most intriguing, and it's between Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg. Austin Jackson, 2 underwhelming seasons since he was a first-round pick in 2020. Liam Eichenberg, not much better, a second-round pick in 2021. Looking at Liam Eichenberg, he was the starting left tackle last season, but just recorded a 50.8 PFF grade, certainly below average. Austin Jackson was the starting left tackle in 2020. Didn't perform well there. They gave him a shot at left guard last year. His PFF grade was actually worse. Now, because of that, whoever wins this job is going to be on a short leash, right? If Austin Jackson's named the starter, which I expect him to be, if he doesn't perform well, they'll put Eichenberg in. If Eichenberg doesn't perform well, what are you going to do? Who you got? Type AJ if you think Austin Jackson is going to be the starting right tackle this season for the Dolphins, or type Liam Eichenberg, LE, down in the chat if you think Ike is going to win the starting right tackle job. But like I said, if both of those guys can't step up, watch out for Kellen Diesch, man. Ranked as Tom Downey's best undrafted free agent, got $140,000 fully guaranteed. This is not your typical UDFA. This guy can play, was a projected mid-round pick. I really like Kellen Diesch. He's not going to start week 1, but don't be shocked if he starts by week 17, even as an undrafted free agent. He's that good, and maybe Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg that bad. Let's get into inside linebacker now, and we've talked about Eric Ezukanma earlier with the wide receiver position battle. It's going to be interesting at inside linebacker as well. Taking a look at this linebacker depth chart. Right now, I have Channing Tindall slotted right behind Landon Roberts, one of the few linebackers that you have re-signed, along with Duke Riley, Sam McGuavin, Brendan Scarlett. You've brought those guys back. You've kept that linebacker room together. Now, they did draft 2 linebackers, Channing Tindall and Cameron Good. I think Cameron Good more of an outside linebacker. Channing Tindall, I think, more built to play the inside linebacker position. But Channing Tindall, very quick, can get to the quarterback. And by the way, he did officially sign with the Dolphins yesterday. And you saw that video when he got drafted, when I put on the orange shades and went nuts. That showed you how much I like Channing Tindall. I like him even more now after seeing the shirt he's wearing. Michael Scott Paper Company. He's an Office fan, just like yours truly. Spam Michael Scott down in the chat. That's not my uncle, by the way. Will Channing Tindall start as a rookie? Type Y for yes or N for no down in the comments section. I'm not saying week 1. I'm saying by the end of the season, will Channing Tindall start? I think yes. I think he starts over Landon Roberts by the end of the season. The last position battle we're going to get into in today's show is the running back position. Let's take a look at the Dolphins running backs. They have Chase Edmonds, Sony Michel, and Raheem Mostert. Now, those first 3 guys on my list are all new. Myles Gaskin has gone from RB1 to RB4 in the depth chart, and then these guys, maybe long shots to make the team at this point. Salvon Ahmed, Jared Dokes, who was a 7th-round pick in 2021 out of Cincinnati, spent last season on the practice squad, and then ZaQuandre White, a guy that you brought in as an undrafted free agent out of South Carolina. He had 6.6 yards per carry in 2021 with the Gamecocks, signed with the Dolphins after going undrafted. Here's what he did with South Carolina last year. And look, in terms of yards, not earth-shattering numbers. In fact, he wasn't even South Carolina's leading rusher last season, only 2 touchdowns. But what really stands out to me about his numbers is the yards per carry, 6.6. That is absolutely fantastic. And in order for White to make the team, and a lot of y'all have commented that you think he's got a good shot. In fact, some of y'all were disappointed that he wasn't in my video the other day, 5 undrafted free agents that can make the team. And the reason that he was not on that list is right now he's RB7. I expect the Dolphins just to carry 4 or 5 backs. So in order for him to make the team, I think that Myles Gaskin has to get cut or traded, and he's got to beat out Salvon Ahmed and Jared Dokes. He can probably beat out Dokes. Ahmed might be tough. But look, the Dolphins only carried 3 running backs on the initial 53-man last year. I expect them, with Mike McDaniel, what he likes to do running the football, to carry more than that, but it's certainly going to be an uphill battle for White to make the team. He's talented. I hope he at least gets a spot on the practice squad. What position battle are you most excited about? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. Pin comment on today's video, so go down and reply. Thanks for watching this edition of Dolphins Today. Talk to you again tomorrow, Dolphins fans.